So in this tutorial, what we're going to do is work with the Riso printer and 4 specific inks to create a CMYK print. Now, the print won't be exactly the same as a full color print because there is no magenta ink on the Riso, but this technique will get you pretty close. So the first thing you're going to need to do is get the fluorescent pink, the yellow, the blue, and the black inks. You should have one drum for each of these inks. The next thing we're going to do is, as you can see here, start with an 11 by 17 inch document. And what I'm going to be doing, this was found on the web, so you can see in the channels here that it's an RGB document. And I'm going to be converting that to a CMYK, but before I start, I noticed right away that the document is a little bit faded. So I'm going to just select my levels, Command L, and just kind of darken up or brighten everything up and maybe make it a little bit darker so everything pops just a little bit more, so we start with a good image. The next thing I'm going to do is go to Image mode, and I'm going to swap it over now to the CMYK color mode. When I do that, it's going to ask to use a profile. I'm going to say OK. And then now if I go to my channels, you'll see that I have a cyan, magenta, a yellow channel, and a black channel. I usually start by putting the magenta and the yellow into the machine because those are the two colors that we're going to print first. Then we're going to let them dry for a full day, and then we're going to print the cyan, which in this case will be blue, and black last. So I'm going to go to the yellow layer first, just select it, everything else is deselected. I'm going to hit Command A to select all, Command C to copy this image into memory, and now I'm going to select all the layers again because we want those turned on, right? And then we're going to go to the Layers tab. Now notice that this layer is locked, so I'm going to just double click it to unlock it. And what I'm going to do now is paste Command V, and you'll notice that that yellow layer, and I'm going to call it yellow, that yellow channel is now pasted in, and you can now see all the yellow that we're going to be printing. So everywhere there's black, it will actually be yellow that we'll be printing. But we're going to do the same thing for the rest of the layers, so I'm going to turn this yellow layer off so I don't select it. Go back to layer 0, select that. Go to channels, and then the next layer I'm going to select is the magenta layer. I'm going to select it, Command A to select all, Command C to copy it, then back to the all the layers, selecting again, go back to layers, and now Command V, and that's going to paste our magenta layer, which is pink. We're just going to call it pink because we're going to be using fluorescent pink. I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to turn off the pink layer, select the layer 0, go to the channels. The next color I'm going to select is cyan. Select all, Command A, Command C to copy. CMYK again, layers, and then paste, and this is blue. And then finally we're going to do this one last time. I'm going to select everything, or deselect everything so that I can see the original image. Go to channels, go to black, select all, Command A, Command C, back to all the layers selected, and now paste, and this is black. So we're pretty close to being able to print this. Remember, we're going to be printing 2 of these today, and then 2 more of these drums tomorrow. So the blue, the black, the pink, and the yellow layer are now ready for printing. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to turn everything but the layer I want to print first. I have pink set up as my first drum, so I'm going to select it. I'm going to go to File, Print. I'm going to select the Riso printer. I'm going to modify it so it's 11 by 17. Select the Riso here because that's what we have. And now I'm going to go to Print Settings. I'm going to go to Coloring. And because I've added the fluorescent pink to this list here, I'm going to just select fluorescent pink. But I'm going to select Grain Touch, Photo, Monocolor Print. I'm going to hit Save. I'm going to let the printer manage the colors here because I don't have that color management profile available here. And what I'm going to do is wake up the printer, and now I'm going to hit the print button, and that is going to send the job to the printer. I'm just going to hit OK. I know that I have 11 by 17 inch paper in the printer, and now I'm going to walk over to the printer. So at the printer, I see my job in my job list. I know I have fluorescent pink selected, and I'm going to go ahead and hit the start button to make the master. Now that the pink layer is created, I'm going to go ahead and swap the drums and select the yellow as my next color. I'm going to go to the computer, click on yellow, hide the history here, and again I will go ahead and go to File, Print, and Printer Settings, and this time I will make sure that the coloring is now set to yellow. That will now print it to the yellow drum that is now in the first position. I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to hit print and proceed. And now going over to the Riso printer, we are going to the yellow drum is going to get its screen made, and the pink drum currently has the screen. So the nice part is once we have the two screens made, we can then use the Riso itself to print both colors at the same time. Select the home button so that I can be on the home screen, and I'm going to select dual color and then printing. And what this will do is it will print whatever is on both of the drums, which we have the yellow and the fluorescent pink. So go over to the start button, make sure I've got one selected, and now it will go ahead and create a print. We are going to do the exact same thing for the cyan and black. We're going to print the blue and then print the black as a group, and we're going to put that on top of our final 4-color print. So the last thing we're going to do is actually add a 5th color called the spot color, and I'm going to just show you how I would pick up a red color from this image. So what we're going to do is we're going to select layer 0, which has all the colors, and we're going to go to select color range. And what I'm going to do is under the selection, normally you have a eyedropper so you can select different colors, but I can also select the reds here, and what it will do is find every single red in this image and select it. I'm going to hit OK, and now because I have the red selected, I can see that if I were to use the paint bucket tool, I could paint into that selection using the color black, because that's the color we want to actually print, is the black, because that will translate into the red. So what I'm going to do is make a new layer here and call this red, and I'm just going to go ahead and use the paint bucket tool and just paint one time by clicking once. And what that's done, if I turn off the background layer, you'll see that everywhere there was a selection for red, it's actually filling in with black. And just to show you that off better, I'm going to hit the plus button to make a new layer, deselect, Command D, and then paint in with white and put the white under the red layer so you can really see this is what we're going to be actually creating. So this is called the spot color. I'm going to go ahead and blend those two layers together, Command E to merge them. And then I'm going to go ahead and print this the same way we've done it before. Go to print, print settings, coloring, and this time I'm going to select red as our color. Hit save and hit the print button. And that's going to print it to the red that we currently have in the Riso that I've exchanged for the first drum.